wonderful backdrops and the boat sign on Lisa. Check that out. That's awesome. Do I know Connie Mesfin? I should. She could be my cousin in the chat room. Hi, Robin. Hi, Francette. Hello, hello. And we are live on Facebook, so hello again, everybody. My name is Munit, and hello, Facebook. It's good to be here with you on this wonderful, gray, rainy day where I am. I don't know how it is where you are. Welcome to Washington Rebels Carpe Diem Arts Daily Antidote of Song to everyone. We're so glad to have you here. I hope I got everybody's names. Barb, hello there. I think I didn't see you earlier, but I'm going to get you on the way out if I didn't get you now. Welcome again to all the people that are watching us on Facebook. This is day 2 of our voting songs week. I hope you all had a wonderful time yesterday with Sandra Kerr, who was coming in from England singing songs about suffrage, the suffrage movement there, and one of the heroines who had given her life for that movement. And with voting being what it is, 5 days away from November 3rd, we're excited to be here with you all. For those of you who are new to the Daily Antidote of Song, this is number 200 something of all of us coming together at 12 o'clock to share music and to share good stories and to share good energy and to make us feel just a little bit better and brighter and stronger as we face the day and all the craziness that it might be throwing at us. You should all know that you can get on the list if you're new at jrassi at revelsdc.org. There will be some chat there that will be happening with all of that information. I want to say hello to Jo Rassi. If you could wave for everybody, she's taking a break today. And we have 2 people that are here that are helping us with all of the things technical. And so I want to welcome 2 folks. One is our new person, who's Binta Kulabali. Hello, Binta. Binta's helping us, and Colin's there too helping us. So we want to say hi to her. Obviously, we're so excited to have Dr. Kathy Bullock here with us. We love Kathy. And I was so glad to be a host on her session because she was a host on mine. So I get to pay back the wonderful energy that she gave me, which is really, really awesome. Everybody who is here, please know that, of course, this is, a time for us to all come together as community. But if you want to donate, all of the funds that are going into the donation in Washington Rebels is going directly to the song leader. So please go ahead and do that. It is an investment because, these song leaders are giving us so much life and so much energy. So invest in the arts because the arts, as you know, are suffering because COVID is not fun at all. So, day number 2. I'm sure I've forgotten some of the things that I have to say, but I'm going to keep coming back and saying it because it's just the energy and the excitement of the moment. We have Kathy here with us. Kathy Bullock. Dr. Kathy is a retired professor of music at Berea College. She's a dynamic singer, a piano player, a gospel voice that is absolutely wonderful to listen to. She's been doing amazing work around African American music, spirituals, and women's suffrage. And she's also been doing something very interesting that she'll talk to us about the suffrage movement and the Black women's voices that were in there but not given the kind of attention that they needed to be given. So we're going to be correcting some of those issues right here on this rainy day. If it's rainy where you are, wave your hand so that I don't feel alone in this cold. Oh my goodness, it's a lot of us. So Kathy's the perfect person because she's sunshine on a cloudy day. Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you, Monique. Wow, I feel all that energy. I just need to capsulize it and record it and just play it every morning for me.
Listen,
I see my people in the audience, Jane, Becky, and many other folks sending love to all of you. I have looked through all the screens. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, Joe, for the invitation. Glad to be here. I just wanted to say, folks, I started to say, folks, are 5 days out. Thousands have voted already, including me, and thousands more to come. And so when Joe asked me for a voting song, I thought of several, but then I decided to take a look back to the ancestors' message as we look at today, and then we move forward. So that is what I wanted to do. And I thought to share with you a few quotes from women who have been fighting just for this right to vote over 100 years ago, 50 years ago, and yet today, and how important it is. Now, one of the first I heard the other day was by actually Martin Luther King, who said we stand in one of the most momentous periods in history, and Tuesday, November 3rd is critical. Now, he was in 1964. Those were his exact words. It's like, wait a minute. We're in 2020. So then I thought about these women, and I want to share their words with you, and then we sing. because it really is about the story through songs. The first was Frances Harper. Back even before the Civil War, this was African American. These are all black women, and she was a mover and shaker and a journalist. I'm telling you, before the Civil War, she said, "We are all bound up together in one great bundle of humanity, and society cannot trample on the weakest and feeblest of its members without receiving the curse in its own soul." Woo! I felt that, y'all. I felt it. They're in the chat. The second one was by Harriet Tubman, the great woman who gave her life to freeing so many people during the time of enslavement. She said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world." And so if Harriet Tubman could say that at a time when black women weren't even considered human, what can we say now? Nannie Helen Burroughs, Movers and Shakers, powerful woman in the early 1900s, educator, political. She said, "At times we feel wounded, hurt, disappointed, disgusted, resentful, sick of it all. At other times we feel skeptical, outraged, robbed, beaten. We chafe, we hate, or we are overlooked. And then again, we feel like ignoring, defighting, and fighting for every right that belongs to us as human beings. Now's the time to fight, not to sit back." And then Fannie Lou Hamer, who almost had to give her life, was beaten just because she wanted to have a right to vote for her community. She says, "When I liberate myself, I liberate others. If you don't speak out, ain't nobody gonna speak out for you." So the song I wanted to do is "Don't You Let Nobody Turn You Around." And it was a spiritual which was then used in the civil rights movement as people marched. And I wanted to use it now. And I'm changing a few of the words at the end, which is what we do all the time with these spirituals to make them prevalent to now. And so it says, "Don't you let nobody turn you around. Keep on walking, keep on talking. Vote and let your voice be heard." Y'all ready? So I'll sing it through one time, and then you can just join me because it's pretty easy. It goes, "Don't you let nobody turn you around, turn you around, turn you around. Don't you let nobody turn you around. Oh, keep on walking, keep on talking. Vote and let your voice be heard." Now, did y'all get that? All right, now I need to see everybody moving and rocking. Got the hand clapping moving, swaying back and forth. There's fire. Here we go. Let's do it one more time. "Don't you let nobody turn you around, turn you around. Oh, turn you around. Don't you let nobody turn you around. Just keep on walking, keep on talking. Vote and let your voice be heard." Let's go to the next verse. "Don't you let injustice turn you around, turn you around, turn you around. Don't you let injustice turn you around. Just keep on walking, keep on talking. Vote and let your voice be heard. Don't you let intimidation turn you around, turn you around. Oh, turn you around. Don't you let intimidation turn you around. Just keep on walking, keep on talking. Vote and let your voice be heard. Don't you let no long lines turn you around, turn you around, turn you around. Don't you let no long lines turn you around. Just keep on walking, keep on talking. Vote and let your voice be heard. Yes. Yes.
I'll make all the noise for everybody that's out there waving their hands, because that's what we're about. We're making that noise. Don't you let nobody turn you around. I love the part about don't you let those long lines turn you around.
Long lines, baby.
Let's see. Can I get a wave of hands of folks that have already voted? Oh, look at that. Page one, everybody's doing it. Let's see page two. Oh, almost all of page two. Let's see page three. Oh, look at that. Page three's got some action going. Page four, if you had your cameras, I would be able to tell. But I think it's a wonderful thing that almost everybody here has been voting, and it's now the time. I've been doing, like, in the Peanuts cartoons, Schroeder gets very excited about Beethoven's birthday, and he goes 5 more days until Beethoven's birthday. I've been doing that on my Facebook page, going 5 more days. I mean, it has been amazing to see how many people have been going early, early being the way to do it. And I think it's really important to keep saying and pushing, go for the early, get it done these couple of days. That was perfect. I mean, that perfect? Was that a perfect song? We should be singing this song to
Vote and
everybody.
let your voice be heard.
Vote
Because
and
for
let
all of us who have voted, there's so many others who still have not. There are others.
there's so
I
many.
got to call all my cousins and my friends and my all the other extra relatives and friends of the relatives. Like, get on out there if you haven't already. And
Absolutely. There's no being complacent about even letting our people know, because if there some people we're procrastinators. Some of us are procrastinators, and we got to make a plan about it and make sure that there is a way that we're going to get there, and we can take as many of us with us along the way. Thank you so much. And I definitely want to hear now from you, because you've been involved in something really interesting, womensing100.com, which is about, we've been celebrating the 100 years since suffrage, women's suffrage, and I want to know a lot about what you have been doing with womensing100.com. So tell us about that, Dr.
I'm delighted
Jackie.
to do so. And two of my colleagues who worked on that project are in this chat with me. But before we get that, I have to do a shout out to Barb, who said there's some of her relatives she'd rather not remind to vote. But I do feel like every person should be encouraged to speak um, what you have to say. Everyone. Don't let no virus turn you around. Ooh, we got some other words too. So that's the kind of song you can just add in what you need to. So going, thank you, Monique, to talk about Women Sing 100. This was a journey of love. And so there were four of us compatriots who came together. It was the vision of Jane Loy. Raise your hand, Jane, so everybody can see your beautiful face. Who's saying, this was the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage, of when women received the right to vote officially. Even though it was really only white women who got that vote, because for black women, they had to go 45 more years until the Voting Rights Act before they are able to get it. But she felt it's important to tell the story and all the stories. And so she invited Becky. Becky, raise your hand. She is also another one of the fabulous song leaders, as is Jane and leaders. And I don't know if Pego is on with us today, but there were four of us. And so we got together and learned so much about this that we didn't know, and put together a 2-hour session. But it goes so fast because it's about song. We're telling the
There
story
you
that
are.
will work. So it's very dynamic, and so it is now available online at the website womensing100.com, and we start talking about way before the Civil War. Black and white women getting together, and they were against those who were against slavery, and speaking their voices strongly. And then the Civil War happened, and then how the various voices continued and then diverged. And then black women had to move in a different direction because they were kept out of the movement when white women around the turn of the century. But they were there all the way through, speaking their voices, and they often weren't heard. So part of our story was, and period, women's voices in general have been left out of the history books. We don't know the fire and the power that these women and what they sacrificed. I mean, did you know that when women were getting together, I think Jane was talking about it, they burned down one of the meeting places. This was not the black, this is white women. They burned it down. They just okay, and then later on they were jailed because the women were marching in front of the White House, and they said, "What are you doing? You're supposed to be back at home taking care of the kids." And so I'm just going quickly, but you need to hear the whole story. It's so inspiring. And so my role was to add also those voices of African American women that we didn't even know about, who were charging and fighting. And then in the 1900s, they continued on a separate path but journey to make sure that families got to vote. And this idea of getting to vote, people gave their life. People were beaten. People were threatened in all kinds of ways. Women, particularly, to do it so that we could have that opportunity, all of us, today, to let our voices be heard. And there's some powerful singing, y'all. It's just a powerful thing. Jane or Becky, did you want to add anything since you're right here? I mean, but you just go to it and watch it and give us a donation. That'd be good too to help us courses. But it is profound, and everybody says it. Y'all have anything to add? No,
Jane,
Becky.
Becky, anything?
She's
Go
she's
ahead.
waving. They're
Go
waving.
ahead. I think you can unmute yourself. Oh, wait, let me do it. There we go. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to fill in what Kathy was saying about when the hall was burned down, because in the early part of it was women who were against slavery who first brought their voices to bear and became the ones that went for suffrage too. And in the beginning, Black and white women worked together very powerfully. And it was in the early 1850s, before the Civil War, where they had this meeting in Philadelphia, Black and white together, and it aroused so much outrage from people. They had just built this Philadelphia Freedom Hall, just built brand new. So the point of it was so that everybody's voice could have a place to go. And so Black and white women gathered together to talk about anti-slavery. And a crowd of thousands of men with torches surrounded the building and were really, really upset that these women would be together and speaking. They didn't do anything while they were gathering that day, but in the evening, when these women left, and they had to walk, one white woman and on each side of a Black woman holding arm in arm, and they walked out in a procession trying to keep each other safe. And when they went home that night, the men went in and burned down the hall. It had just been built, and now Freedom Hall was now ashes, so that they were trying to get it so that the women couldn't meet and couldn't speak.
And know that the power of it. And there were men who were supportive of these women as well.
Absolutely.
Now, just like there were women who were opposed to this. It's always, but this was fueled by women. And the stories are powerful because they remind us of what can be, what has been in the past, and what could be again. If we work together, and that power of it. So when Frances Harper talks about we're all bound up together, it just resonates so with me. So I want you all to feel encouraged, even in the midst of craziness and COVID. And remember, they were having a pandemic at the same time back then, 100 years ago, that we're having now. Can you believe it? It was the Spanish flu thing going on. Yet and still.
History is fantastic. It kind of comes around and teaches us lessons again and again and again, and it's up to us to keep our ears open and to keep ourselves open to finding ways that we were together at intersections then, at a time when it was not at all convenient and it was not at all easy to be together. It's easier now, so we should be doing better of it. And like that's the part that I love about it. We are bound together, and that vision of the women holding hands like that, it's a powerful image that I think can carry us forward, because it is more possible now than it has ever been, and we are, I think, very aware of how critical it is for us to come together at all the intersections and be like, this is a time for all of us, at all the different ways that we meet together, to come and bind together in our direction of justice for all peoples. This is fantastic. Could it be any more inspiring? I'm not sure, but everybody should go now, because I know I didn't know most of the stories that you just told me. So I went to Smith College too, which is an all-women school, so I feel kind of embarrassed at my lack of knowledge. But I'm going to go and be all women, suffrage movement immersion right after this, so I can, kind of make up for the lack of knowledge that I have of this time. So that's definitely something that we have to do. I think there have been some suggestions of lyrics, like Kathy said, that could be included into the song. So if you have some suggestions, definitely do suggest them in there so that we can have a few more ideas in the closing of this wonderful day. Don't forget that there are amazing things coming up with this Voting Songs Week. Tomorrow we have Annie Patterson and Peter Blood. Saturday we have Emma's Revolution, plus a pumpkin surprise, because Halloween will be somehow celebrated in COVID-19. We don't know how yet. The children are still excited, and we keep telling them we don't know what we're doing, but we might just have you wear some costumes and run around in circles because that might be all we can do. But that's something that we should all be looking forward to in the next coming days. Also, next November 21, we're going to have with our co-host Carpe Diem, there will be Community Sing coming up on November 21. And also next week, Thursday, there will also be the Civic Center, which will be part of the Jumpstart with the Arts. The Civic Center has been working with kids to get them all civically involved as well. So thank you to Carpe Diem, who is our co-host right there, busy. If you're somewhere, wave your hands for us. And for everybody else, don't forget to go and donate to the Daily Antidote, because all of the funds will go to the artists that are making our life so much better every day at noon for almost 200 days now. So without further ado, I think we have to hear your voice again, because, I mean, the rain is still raining. I still need some sunshine.
Yes, and
So
we've
we
gotten
want
some extra versions, verses. We got "Don't You Let No Rainy Days Turn You Around," and then "Don't You Let Our Separate
absolutely.
Nations Turn You Around." Y'all are fierce. I just knew it. I just knew it. There were some others, but I might have missed them. They were
There
earlier
was one
on.
about a virus. Don't you let this virus turn you around.
Don't you let this virus, this
Mm-hmm.
virus. Okay, I'll holler it out before we say it, and that's phenomenal. And I want you to know that when we talk about the women's suffrage, there was a time we were arm in arm, and then there was a time of separation, very clearly, because of racism alive and well in our country, when whites would not allow blacks to work together. And then as people kept working, not all, but enough, and then they come together again today. So that's even more powerful to know that in spite of and because of our stories in the past, it's even more powerful and critical that we are hand in hand and arm in arm right now to save our whole world. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Ready to sing it again? Okay, so now we're gonna sing "Don't You Let No Rainy Day Turn You Around." Don't you let this virus turn you around. Don't you let, even though we are safely distancing and wearing our mask, but we're not gonna let the virus, turn it around. And then don't you let no separate nations. Okay, rainy days. Here go. Don't you let no rainy days turn you around, turn you around. On walking, keep on talking, vote and let your voice be heard. Virus, don't you let this virus turn you around, turn you around, turn you around. Don't you let this virus, y'all, turn you around. Just keep on walking, keep on talking, vote and let your voice be heard. Separate nations, don't you let separate nations turn you around, turn you around, turn you around. Don't you let separate nations turn you around. Just keep on walking, keep on talking, keep on fighting, keep on working. Mark one and let your voice be heard. Yes.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. We're going to be marching all the way. We're going to get our voices heard. We're going to call our relatives, even maybe the ones we don't necessarily want to remind, which is a tricky conundrum. I understand that conundrum. I have a few in my community too. But we got to be fair and let everybody's voice be heard so democracy wins. We want democracy to
Democracy.
win. That's right. Democracy over our own personal grudges. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kathy. Please do go and check out the website that she just spoke about, that beautiful project, which is womensing100.com. Don't forget to invest in this wonderful, wonderful daily antidote of song. All of the funds are going to go to the artist. Thank you, Binta. Can I get a big wave and shout out to Binta, who's handling all things tech with us? And thank you for joining the community. We hope to see you almost every day now, and you'll be hosting soon, because she used the word like it's sacrilegious after all of the suffrage movement and civil rights movement to not be voting. Yes, sacrilegious to not vote. So, Binta, thank you. Colin, thank you. Joe, thank you. Busy, I can't see you on page 1. I think you're on page 2. Thank you, Busy Graham from Carpe Diem. And of course, we want to thank all of you that have been here with us. If you're new, we're here every day. This is the songs to vote by. These are the songs to vote by. Basically, we have 5 days left before November 3rd. Everybody has to go early as much as they can. It is safer, it is better. And it's also really inspiring to see how many young folks are coming out to vote. So remember, anybody who's turned 18, make a big deal. Be like, you're 18 now. Go out there and tell your 18-year-olds to do this as well. So vote, vote, vote. Tell everybody to vote. I think this is it for the day, right?
Woo!
And we want to thank everybody
Yes.
again. Go and be part of the Daily Antidote listserv. Go to the website and J. Rassi at revelsdc.org is where you're going to be able to join the listserv. And I think we have to say maybe bye to Facebook, and then I have to say bye to everybody, which